Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors want to be champions again with Stephen Curry playing, and for that they will need at least one major reinforcement. Rumors: Warriors want to sign DeMar DeRozan, in a deal involving Buddy Hield. The Golden State Warriors' playoff hopes appeared bleak during most of the 2024-25 trade season. The Warriors were among the most inconsistent squads in the league, prompting them to appease their superstar guard, Stephen Curry, by acquiring Jimmy Butler on February 5 in a multi-team deal. Since joining the Dubs in early February, the former Miami Heat standout forward has changed the perception surrounding the Warriors organization. Thanks to Butler's two-way contributions, Golden State boasts a much-improved 46-32 record in early April and should be viewed as a dark horse championship contender. Still, once the 2025 free agency period arrives, the Warriors could land a third superstar and start the 2025-26 campaign with an even more formidable roster by acquiring an elite wing from the Sacramento Kings. DeMar DeRozan had various options last summer but ultimately signed a 3-year deal with the Sacramento Kings. From a productivity standpoint, the mid-range assassin hasn't given Sacramento much to complain about. DeRozan averages 22.2 points, 4.4 assists, and 3.9 rebounds per game, shooting 48.1% from the field and 34% from three-point land. However, the USC product's inability to hold his weight as an on- and off-ball defender has negatively impacted a Kings squad that fired Mike Brown before New Year's Day. Sacramento ranks 20th in points allowed per game, surrendering an average of 115.6 points nightly. If the 38-40 Kings fail to reach the postseason with DeRozan, they may be open to exploring an off-season trade involving the former Toronto Raptors phenom. While DeRozan's defensive issues would be noticeable in the Bay, he would give the Warriors another battle-tested veteran star who isn't a stranger to monumental playoff moments. Buddy Hield is on thin ice with the Warriors after starting the year red-hot from beyond the arc, which could make him a primary trade bait asset in a noteworthy summer trade for DeRozan. NBA fans react after Stephen Curry scores only 3 points in Warriors' loss to Rockets. Sad to see. Sunday, April 6, 2025 23:43 updated Monday, April 7, 2025, 5:51. Stephen Curry put on one of the worst performances of his career as the Warriors lost to the Rockets. Stephen Curry was absolutely abysmal against the Houston Rockets. The legendary point guard put up just 3 points in the Warriors' loss. Just a few days ago, Warriors fans were dreaming of a 5th ring for Stephen Curry after their win over the Nuggets. In fact, Chris Mullin even suggested that Curry and Jimmy Butler were a better duo than LeBron James and Luka Doncic. If Curry continues performing the way he did tonight, Mullin's take will age like milk. But fans didn't hold back on Steph after his disappointing night. NBA fans slammed Stephen Curry for abysmal performance. Fans took to X to let their feelings be known about Stephen Curry's performance. One fan chimed in, saying, "LeBron James literally would never." "My eyes have to be deceiving me," wrote another bewildered fan. While a shocked fan simply asked, "Only 3 points?" A possible Lakers fan pointed to Bronny James scoring the same amount of points as Curry in just 2 minutes, saying, "Bronny James outplayed Curry tonight." One fan simply asked, "Worst game of his career?" However, a Curry fan seemed to show optimism that this was a blip, noting, "Dry night, he'll bounce back." "Ouch, rough night for the chef." "What's his record in these games?" asked a curious neutral fan. While another fan asked for patience, "After all, Steph is a human being. Hope he will bounce back and make doubters wrong." Curry will bounce back. There is no justifying how poor the performance from Stephen Curry was tonight. Scoring 3 points when you are a superstar caliber player is unacceptable. But NBA fans shouldn't become too hyperbolic. This is still Stephen Curry we're talking about. Not only is he the greatest shooter in NBA history, but he is also a prolific superstar. Off nights come and go. Maybe not as bad as the one he experienced, but Curry knows how to bounce back from poor performances. Curry is playing well this season, averaging 24.4 points, 6.1 assists, and 4.3 rebounds. The Warriors will hope that he got his poor performances out of his system ahead of the playoffs with tonight's bomb. We're going to win the last four. The Warriors' path to avoiding the play-in is simple, but not easy. A win over Houston Sunday would have vaulted them into fourth place, but the loss keeps them in a five-team fight for a coveted top six seed in the West. For weeks now, part of Steve Kerr's daily routine has been to pull up the Western Conference standings and check the scores of teams around the Warriors. That's going to continue through the final week of the season. After Sunday's 106-96 loss to Houston, the Warriors joined the Grizzlies, Clippers, and Timberwolves as 46-32 teams. The Nuggets, who have played one additional game, are 47-32. The playoff picture is as logjammed as can be. Despite a recent 5-game winning streak and a 20-3 record with Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green in the lineup, Golden State remains at risk of falling into the play-in round. A win over Houston would have vaulted them into fourth place. A loss Tuesday at Phoenix could sink them to 8th. The only way I know for sure is if we win our last 4 games, we're not in the play-in, Kerr said. The Rockets' athleticism, length, and physicality bothered the Warriors into 20 turnovers on Sunday. Amen Thompson, likely the best athlete in the NBA, Tari Eason, and Jalen Green harassed Curry into a 1-4-10 night, halting the tear he entered on. Draymond Green tussled with Rockets center Alperen Sengun and finished his night with 5 fouls plus a technical and a flagrant. This was the 5th matchup of the season between Houston and Golden State, and it seems like each features escalating degrees of chippiness. I think that was the moment we won the game. Because, Draymond, got teed up, and we responded well, Sengun said. I think they were trying to scare us to play softer. In addition to Green's technical, Houston coach Ime Udoka exchanged words with Curry as the teams headed toward the locker rooms for halftime. The Warriors and Rockets could meet in a first-round series if the Warriors sink to 7th. But, as they've stated all spring, their goal is to avoid that fate. According to Basketball Reference's playoff probabilities report, the loss to the Rockets decreased the Warriors' chances of staying above the play-in line from 72.6 to 58.7. Winning out would guarantee Golden State a top 6 finish. Remaining on the Warriors' schedule, Tuesday at Phoenix, Wednesday at home against the Spurs, Friday at Portland, and the regular season finale Sunday against the Clippers at Chase Center. Here are the remaining schedules for the other teams in a practical heat with Golden State. Nuggets, 47-32 at Kings, Grizzlies, at Rockets. Clippers, 46-32 Spurs, Rockets, at Kings, at Warriors. Timberwolves, 46-32 at Bucks, at Grizzlies, Nets, Jazz. Grizzlies, 46-32 at Hornets, Timberwolves, at Nuggets, Mavericks. Because Minnesota and Memphis face each other, only one of them can finish the season 4-0. And the Warriors own the tiebreaker over both. If the Warriors lose and go 3-1 this week, their easiest path to a top 6 seed is the winner of Timberwolves-Grizzlies losing another game. If at least 4 of those teams finish the season with the same record, the worst seed the Warriors could have is number 6 based on tiebreakers. The Warriors-Clippers matchup Sunday will almost certainly be crucial. Los Angeles has already secured the head-to-head tiebreaker, having won the first 3 meetings. That means the Warriors would have to finish a full game ahead of the Clippers to be seated above them. Basketball Reference's projections of the remaining games have the Clippers finishing as the number 4 seed, playing the Warriors as the number 5 seed. When the Warriors acquired Butler, they sat in the 10th seed. They've since climbed and climbed and climbed, surging so far that they've sniffed the top half of the conference. Butler, I don't care. Unlike Kerr, Butler doesn't spend time studying the standings. 0, I don't care, he said. His perspective is that as long as the Warriors win games, everything will work out. The play-in format began in 2021. Butler was on the only play-in team to reach the NBA Finals, when he carried the Heat out of the 8th seed to an Eastern Conference title. I've always been one to think that whatever squad I'm on, we always have a chance, Butler said. I know whatever squad Curry is on, whatever squad Green is on, always has a chance. So I'd like to think that all three of us together have a really good chance. We want to not be in the play-in. We're playing to not be in the play-in. We're going to win the last four. That's that. We've got a job to do anyway, that's to win a championship no matter what seed we are.